everybody? Welcome to Head to Head. This is Chris.
And this is Scott.
And we appreciate you guys tuning into our show. Usually at this point, we kind of go on to a little tangent between me and Scott, kind of what's going on, whether in our life or some views or whatnot. But I wanted to take a moment to reach out across the country to Davis, California, and the police department out there that's going through a tragedy. Officer Corona lost her life last night, and we want to send out a prayer from Head to Head family to her family and to that police department, and frankly to the police departments around the country that serve and protect us every day, that go unnoticed unless they make themselves noticed. So again, our prayers to Officer Corona, Davis, California Police Department, and all law enforcement that are unspoken of day to day in their tour of duty. With that, we're going to get into some of our sports pick here with Todd Coyer coming up here in a little bit with the NFL playoffs going on. Again, he's been crushing it pretty much all season long, and now as the final day games are approaching here, ramping up for the Super Bowl in here a couple weeks. So how's everything going with you, Scott?
Yeah, bud. I mean, tough way to start the episode, but it's got to be said. So,
yeah.
God bless to her and her family and all the other police officers out there putting themselves on the line. Other than that, man, I mean, I'll take it off that note and I'll jump right into a lighter note. Things are going okay. It's Friday. It's payday, to be honest with you. And I hope our government employees as well are getting paid soon.
I think, I don't know if you saw that yesterday. Well, I know that you saw it because you sent it over to me. President Trump was down the borders yesterday, kind of giving some thoughts on that. What was very powerful to me on that video and watching him there was the fact that the illegal aliens, the illegal immigrants, however they want to be called, depending on what party you root for, or you go for. My party is United States of America, brother, and the bottom line is I take a little bit I'm swayed with the fact that we got some federal employees that are without pay. They're going without pay, but I also look at it as we need something out there, right? I mean, these people are coming into our country, and there is, I mean, regardless of what party line you're on, right? There is miles and miles of unprotected everyday land there that is an imaginary border between Mexico and the United States.
True.
And you got these people coming in other people's backyards. That's a problem, Devil.
Yeah, it's from what I've been seeing on TV, from what I've been reading in the news and everything in between, it's a different world down there. I think it's, we could be up here in the New York City area, we could be in Chicago, we could be up in Washington State. But if you're not on the border directly, it's a different entity. And I think what he did, what the president did yesterday, pulled all those people together to actually give some voices to those individuals. And he pulled property owners together. Mm-hmm. He pulled, unfortunately, victims together. The one mother lost her son. He was a Marine. Mm-hmm. And he also pulled some border agents together and showed what was taking place, just so more people could have a clear understanding of what's going on. I think that's something that needs to be shown. I actually wish, and I think this is something that needs to be done, is that somebody creates a whole YouTube or Instagram page or whatever it is around just videos that the Border Patrol releases to show actually the activity going down there. Or just set up some live cameras and let us all see it so that people that don't believe what's going on down there can actually see it. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me personally, I think that is something that you can't deny the truth at that point.
Yeah, I know when we first started this, Devil, that we decided that we weren't going to take political sides. We were going to let our guests and our people, our listeners, kind of reach out to us, vent, give us their perspectives and stuff, and we were going to kind of stay neutral to it. But damn that, brother, I'm going to tell you something right now. It looks and smells like shit. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
If we're gonna put the onus on President Trump for quote unquote shutting down the federal government, and then the domino falls that our federal employees are not getting paid, and now all of them are going to look at Donald Trump like you're the reason why we're not able to pay our bills. We're not doing all that. And to that degree, I guess that's true. But from my
But
understanding,
he is doing it for a bigger cause.
yeah. But here's my understanding, brother. My understanding is 2003. 2003. I believe that was Bush administration.
Yep.
The same Democrats, and I'll say it, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, were all on board of just that. Was to support wall building efforts,
Yeah, pass
security,
funding.
and pass the funds to get that going.
Right.
2006, if I'm not mistaken, that was also done. Same party decided that was good to go. That was good enough. And then apparently in the Obama administration, the same party, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, all agreed that we needed to strengthen up our border. Now Donald Trump gets president, which obviously was shock, right? Everybody was shocked about that.
But not really, because what do they call them? The silent majority?
Correct.
So-
Well, the deplorables.
Yeah, well, you can call it either way you want.
Well, that was the deplorables,
I
right?
call it the winners at this point.
Well, they won, and that's the point, right? The point is that now all of a sudden, it smells like shit to me, Devil. That you agreed to it all this time, and now because this guy is the one that actually is going to push this to happen, you don't want to give him one. You don't want to give him the W, brother, because if you give him the W now, he has that moving on to the next election.
2020.
And now, and you gave him one. So I look at it as this, and I'm trying to be as neutral on this as possible, brother, but it really looks and feels like shit. Like literally we're stepping in shit and we're trying to put more blame on Donald Trump, and rightfully so for other things maybe. But just on this particular issue at hand here, it smells like shit. That now all of a sudden we don't want that to happen, or you want it worded differently or whatever.
I'm gonna jump. Can I jump in?
Yeah, brother.
Okay,
Because
so
you know I go on a
I'm
rant.
gonna make it. I'm gonna make a point, and you tell me if I miss it here. We have this thing called the Coast Guard, right?
Correct.
Now hear me out. We have this thing called the Coast Guard. They guard all the watery edges of our country, Alaska, all the way down to Florida, the Key West, to where Cuba is, all that.
Right.
Right. Nobody complains when they stop them. When they stop the Cubans and they stop all the, or whoever it may be, I don't even know if it's Cubans at this point, but whoever's bringing across drugs or people or whatever they're smuggling in and out of the country, it could be other criminals. Nobody complains about that.
Correct.
Right? And we throw money at that to get done. Because this is on land, Pelosi and Schumer have a problem with this because of Trump.
Oh, let me.
So you can elaborate on my point, because I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm gonna expand on your point.
Okay.
With it's a little telling that the two states in which those two individuals represent, New York and California, respectively, are now trying to pass a universal healthcare type thing going on out there,
For all
which
illegals.
is actually making the states of California and New York. Their population is starting to go down because people cannot live and afford to live there. So now they're moving to places like Colorado and different places in Florida and around the country,
Right.
because they can't live in New York and California because of it costs just so damn much to live there. I just find that a little bit too ironic. Everybody wants to be a hero. Listen, I take real what's the word I'm looking for? Where I get pissed off. What is that word? Because I'm starting to rant
Passion?
about.
You
Yeah,
got
but I
real
get a little
deep passion.
Well, I just get real upset, and when you got the left and the right that call him Donald Trump or Trump. Now, that's
Yeah.
the president.
Or Mr. Trump.
Or you could call him Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
But he's the president of the United States.
Well, I mean,
And
when he's
you-
the president, you got to call him Mr. President, not Mr. Trump.
Right, like
President
I don't know
Trump,
where
Mr. President.
we come from in our world, where all of a sudden, because we don't like him because he won and he wasn't supposed to win, or he said this or he said that, right or wrong, he's in, and I think a title that title, right? Like you got to give him that title. Like when I go to work, I sir and ma'am to death, and I yes sir and I ma'am, like, because I got to, right?
Right.
Well, this guy, for all
Showing
intents and
respect.
purposes,
Whether you like the guy or not, even if he's
Right.
yelling at you, you're
Right.
showing respect
Right.
to him.
So that right there bothers me to the umpteenth degree. Whether you like him or you don't, I still think when you're addressing him or having a conversation. But let's get off that for a second. How about that fine gentleman with the nice the jacket and the jeans and that belt buckle yesterday? That was. Did you ever go back and watch that part of
I
that?
did not. I did
Well,
not
that's
go
your
back and
fault.
watch
You
that.
lost on that. You lost.
I did not go back and watch that. I should have.
Yes, you should have.
But I do want to make an elaboration on that whole scene as well. So there's 2 big points I took out of that. One, Ted Cruz looks good with a beard.
Yeah, I would have taken him a little bit more seriously a couple years ago.
Well,
If he even had that.
I always thought he looked like a rat fink motherfucker.
Yeah.
I told you that yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was, right? Because he two-faced.
Oh, he definitely two-faced.
Okay, so he fits rat fink perfectly.
Yeah, he two-faced.
But I think
Harvey Dent the shit out of it.
I think Big Daddy told him to grow your beard out and man up.
Yeah, okay.
And by Big Daddy, I mean Mr. President Trump himself said, grow your beard out and man up because you need to start looking the part.
Right.
And he went ahead and did that.
Well, I don't want to stray too far from Ted Cruz because I was going to jump on that, and I'm glad you brought him up.
Sure.
And I won't beat the dead horse, but I really took notice to when certain individuals in that room said Ted Cruz actually goes out there on midnight.
Yeah, I heard that.
Deployments.
Yeah, patrols.
And patrols.
Right. To actually.
Now, brother, I'm gonna tell you right now. No, I'm gonna tell you right now, brother. You'd have told me that 2 years ago. Hell, if you'd have told me that 2 days ago, I'd have told you out of your mind. Ted Cruz ain't going on no damn midnight nothing. Maybe a snack run. Because we all been there. No, we've all been there, Devil. We can get in that another conversation.
Do you think he's second hand to 2020 and first hand to 2024 then?
No, I won't go that far, though.
No?
I mean, you can grow a beard out and you can go on, but I need a little more from you. But
Right.
but it went a long way in he's actually being about it. Because if they're actually saying that he's doing this stuff,
Well, Trump called him out on the bad blood in the beginning.
no, I didn't.
Which was actually great because I mean,
I didn't see that,
Because
but-
let's be honest, you call me on my bullshit,
Yeah,
I call you on your bullshit.
Correct.
That's what guys do. So you know they
Correct.
have a good relationship.
correct. No,
I'm
I
just
agree.
gonna say at this point, we did it on live TV though.
No, it was good. That was good, and yeah, I'm a big fan of phone calls coming in. I like that.
That's okay. We're waiting for Mr. Corey to call in, so that must
Yeah.
have been him coming in. So
Yeah, Okay.
let's have him put on hold, and we'll get him here in a second.
yeah.
So,
But yeah, no, I wouldn't so go as far as say as Ted Cruz should be the number one dog on the top of the Republican Party. But I'm just saying to you, I'm suggesting to you is with that killer beard that he's got, and the fact that people actually confirmed that he was doing some deployments down there.
Mhm.
I'll look at him a little differently here moving forward, bro. But what was that second point you wanted to get onto with what your takeaways were with yesterday's thing?
oh, the belt buckle,
Yeah, it was.
and the fact that he flaunted all the drugs and guns in front of it, like to actually show that this is here.
Yeah, and that was a couple hours worth of stuff, brother. Let's call it.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to know.
But
Actually,
did you know they found 21 dead bodies on the border yesterday?
I did not.
Right before that press conference? 21. No, 20. I'll
Should they have
repeat.
stacked those up in front of them too?
No,
Would
well-
that have made a point to the other side of the American people?
Well, there was a gang war that happened. And that's what happened. There was a gang war that happened the night before, right there at the border. From what I read now, and that's why there was 21 bottles. Yeah, bottles.
21 bottles of beer on the
beer
wall.
Yeah, 21 bottles of beer. No, but that's why there was 21 bodies on the.
That's wild.
Right
man.
there on the border,
I didn't
bro.
even see an article about that.
See, brother, I dig in deep, brother. I dig in like an Alabama tick on a dog's asshole. No, I do, man. I get in there. No, I do, because if I'm gonna come out here and shoot at the mouth, I need to give the people
Yeah,
something.
no, I get that.
You know what I mean? So, but no, and as far as the belt buckle, man, that guy was square away. He had a nice bucket hat.
Well, he had him sign his.
He had his Sunday's best on.
yeah,
No, he did.
He had him sign his
tag.
his name tag. Right.
Yeah, the paper name tag that they
Right.
gave to him.
That's
on the
fantastic.
picnic tables.
No, that is great, man. Because listen, I mean,
And then he put his belt buckle in the face of the president of the United States. No, it was in his face, bro. And he took his belt buckle off, took his belt off, took the belt buckle off, and handed it right to the president of the United States while the president
yeah,
was
we need to
sitting
get
down
that
looking up.
clip and push it out on our
No, that was
on our
fantastic.
site so that
I need to know who that guy
everybody
was.
can see it.
I need to go back, listen to it, and I need to catch that man's name, because that was a piece of motivation.
Well, supposedly he's got some land in Texas, and he's doing all right. He was saying people what they do is the coyotes take him in there
Right?
and they walk him around. You know, unfortunately they
You mean how
They take it-
Marines did me and parasailing with parasailing? They drove
Oh,
a big
yeah.
ass circle for 2 hours,
right with
before
your
they dropped me off.
But you already told me to put my head down, so I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
still
yeah.
driving around like
Yeah.
I'm counting the turns or something.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I mean,
No, they made 4 lefts
yeah.
for like 6 hours. Ta-da!
But I think that the fact that this guy was saying, you know, people come on his land and they're lost because the coyotes led them left and right and all this other places, and then got them turned around. They don't know where Mexico is. They don't know where Houston or San Antonio is, and they literally walk up to his land and tell him, "Please call the border patrol. I'm lost. I don't know what to do."
Yeah, but this guy also clothes them and feeds them when they knock on his back porch.
Right. Right.
Now, brother, let's just think about this right here. you're living in New York. I know we got a lot of viewers out in Canada and LA and Florida, all up and down the East Coast, and hell, even overseas, and we appreciate that. But imagine you laying there with the wife. You just got your baby girl down to sleep. She's got her bottle. You know, you're about to go to sleep or whatever else that the Jellymans do.
Fornicate.
Whatever else the Jellymans do when the babies go down, and you get a little
Yeah, we watch Netflix,
rat-tat-tat.
brother.
Well, that's good.
We watch Netflix, man. That's all we do.
We get a little rat-tat-tat on the back door, and you got somebody,
Yeah,
in illegal.
because they're lost, and
they're
they
lost.
probably don't. I'm not being mean, but I am being mean. But they probably don't speak the language, so now you have to create that bridge and bridge that gap.
That's something. No,
Yeah.
that's something. And then you got these coyotes that make these people. They charge them thousands of dollars, so they get all they got
$3,000. They said
per family member, though, right?
no per person.
Right, but that's what I mean. Per
Right.
family.
Oh yeah,
member.
per family. I'm sorry.
So
You did say that, and I totally.
so you got a family of 3. That's $9,000.
Yeah.
4, 12. Like you imagine if New Jersey, if another state, I was gonna say New Jersey, though, but I don't want to put that on blast. But any other state would say, listen, I'm gonna charge you $3,000 for every family member you want to come over across the state lines.
Right.
I'd be broke.
Well, New Jersey, you got to pay to get out.
Well, yeah, that's a whole.
It's always true. On the bridges, you got to pay to get out. When you sell your house, you got to pay to get out.
All right.
So who knows, man?
Listen, man, I couldn't imagine just going about my life on my ranch or whatever,
No.
and I could look over and I could see Mexico, the country of Mexico, but far down yonder, and they'll knock on the door.
Yeah.
I couldn't
And
imagine.
you'd be the guy that has that land too. 'Cause
That's something.
fit-
I'd have real
You
coyotes.
fit that profile.
Well, I want that.
You'd
I
have
want
real
that life.
coyotes?
No, I have real coyotes.
And
To chase the
and
other
a moat
coyote.
with alligators around
Yeah,
it.
moat. I'd have a drawbridge. No, I'd have to have
Why
a drawbridge.
not, man? At this point,
Yeah,
you
to have
know?
a drawbridge.
Everybody puts up fences, right? Might as well dig down deep and put in the moat.
Yeah, man. Listen, here's my bottom line to this whole border security thing.
You gotta take care of our own.
We have to take care of our own first and foremost. I'm sorry for the women and the children that come over here one way or the other, and it doesn't go as planned. We'll leave it at that. But here's the bottom line for me. The bottom line for me is, if the one side of the house that is going against President Donald Trump on this issue is doing it only to spite him, then you're wrong. You're dead wrong. And if you're going to vote because you think that party is the best, and you're making an educated decision for that, then that's great. But the bottom line is that if you're going in there only to look for handouts or thinking that they're doing you a solid, then you need to educate yourself a little more. Now,
And $6 billion is a drop in the bucket. For
Yeah,
the
I mean,
US
if-
government.
Absolutely.
We provide that in aid multiple times.
Oh, that's
a year.
ridiculous.
So this is a silly fight.
Well, you got a lot of humanitarian relief that's going on in this world. It's got its own set of issues, things of that nature. But I'm telling you right now, if that side is only stopping the president from doing what he wants to do on border out of spite because they're still upset that he won the election, then you need to grow up and get the hell out of office.
Yep.
And move on with your life. And you should retire down in Texas around the border so you can get the knock on the door, your back door in your retirement.
Right.
Now, if they have some other thing that I just have missed here and I have not been informed correctly, or I haven't educated myself enough to understand that they're doing it for one reason or the other, then I want to have that conversation with somebody that actually knows what in the hell that part of that perspective is. I want to have that conversation. But until then, if you're doing it out of spite, you need to grow up, get the hell out of office, and you need to move on with your life. And I would suggest retirement down in Texas on the border, so that way you can deal with the knock on the back doors. No, really, truly,
No,
brother,
no.
because
I get it.
you're talking about California and you're talking about New York. California, perhaps, but New York, you're not getting the rat-tat-tat on the back door. You're getting all the
And I get
additional
all
stuff.
that, man. I guess even if you take all this off the table, right? Why wouldn't you just care about the safety of the American people, about your children, about protecting the border? I mean, you lock your doors at night, right? Why not lock the freaking borders?
Well, unfortunately, I lock
Like, I
my
don't-
doors at night. So I live in a world in my own head, brother, that I don't think it's appropriate that I have to lock my own doors in my house. But that's
But
the
you do.
world we live in.
Yeah, but you do.
And when I was born in the 80s, we didn't down in Virginia, brother. We didn't.
So, because you don't want people in this
Well, I lived
country.
in a trailer, too,
Listen,
so-
you don't want people in this country coming into your house, right?
No, I don't.
So you don't want people out of this country coming into your
Unless
country
you got a sandwich.
unless you're doing it the proper way.
Well, that is true.
Yeah, you can bring all the sandwiches you want.
Leave them on the back door.
Well, I'll take them when I send you back.
Hey, Chris,
Hey, there he is, that boy. Hey, Todd. Todd's here with us. What's up, brother?
hey, what's going on? I was listening to some good conversation there for a couple of minutes. That was a great topic.
Yeah, we appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yeah, we got you on. You got any thoughts? I know we bring you in here on sports, brother, but we're always looking for other perspectives. So, please, if you know something that I haven't read or know something that I don't know, or you can enlighten me somewhere. The bottom line is what I was trying to say, Todd. I don't know how far you got into it, what you heard, but what I'm suggesting is on this whole border fiasco that we have, and I understand federal workers are losing pay every day that we have this shutdown, and I completely understand and respect that. But if the Democrats, namely Schumer and Pelosi, are holding out on having a conversation or going ahead and approving this deal here to get this security down there on the borders that needs securing, if they're holding out just off the fact that they are trying to be spiteful to the president of the United States because they don't like him, then they're just damn wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here are some of the things that I looked at and I've read and I've listened to. Number one, Pelosi, Schumer, Obama, Biden, they all voted in '06 and 2013 for billions of dollars for a wall and border security.
Correct.
So you look at that, so why have they flip-flopped to where they're so adamant against a wall? And I kind of tend to agree with you. I think they flat out hate Trump.
Of course. No, that's as obvious as.
Democrats, they just flat out, they don't want to give him a win for 2020. They just, whatever, if he says up, they're going to say down. If he says right, they're going to say left. They just don't like him. And I think that's part of the issue. Now, I also looked at the facts. One of the things that is scary is that 90% of the heroin that's coming into the country is coming in through the southern border.
Mm-hmm.
And that heroin is killing 300 Americans a week. That's crazy.
That's
It's absolutely insane that we don't want to do something about that. And it's proving in parts of the southern border of California and in parts of Texas, a barrier, a wall, whatever you want to call it, works.
Right.
So, and then on top of that, heroin, you have, and these are just statistical facts that you have from illegal immigrants coming into the country. There's 4,000 murders, 30,000, I think, sexual assaults, and 1,000 violent assaults, 100,000 violent assaults. So, they also want to put money towards new technology to scanners finding these drugs. But where the wall has been, it deters people from coming. It deters them. So it has proven to work. I just think this whole fight is, unfortunately, the country's so divided, especially when it comes to Trump. You either are with him or you just absolutely flat out hate him. That he's taking this stance, so they're going the other way.
Well, the thing that bothers me as well is the narrative that they've put on what came out of the president's mouth when he said that Mexico was going to flip the bill, so to speak. And he wasn't saying literally like they're going to write him a check for whatever it is and they're going to pay for the wall. There's a trade deal that's in place between Mexico, Canada, and the United States that President
the
Trump,
USMCA.
right?
Absolutely.
Because he's trying to suggest that the NAFTA was actually a bad deal for the United States, and he's getting rid of that garbage. And now he's trying to bring in Canada and Mexico on a trade deal that would, in turn, based off that trade deal, would actually free up enough money and revenue to then therefore pay for protection. And now they keep using the word wall because the wall has this negative,
They changed that.
feel. Yeah, right. But it's about protection. Getting more personnel, better equipment, better surveillance and IT products, and then obviously some sort of barrier to cut them off coming through.
you're absolutely right that he got rid of the NAFTA agreement, and he did this new agreement, the Canada-Mexico trade agreement, has already been signed.
Correct.
The problem is nobody hears anything about it because they don't want to, unfortunately, 90% of the media does not want to put out anything good. Just like did you realize the first time, I think it's been 75 years, America is oil, we're importing more oil than we're exporting. First time in 75 years. I think that's a big deal, considering all the issues that's caused over the years. You haven't heard one iota about it unless you're reading up daily on certain things.
Right. Yeah, man, it's a mess, and I don't, I'm not educated enough, or it's above my pay grade, so to speak, to make the call when I think they're going to come back and when they're not, and when they're going to get this stuff together. But really, what really bottom line of this whole thing now, unfortunately, is there is a certain percentage of American people that rely on a paycheck. They're going to be in the middle of this garbage. And really, here's the bottom line. The bottom line is the heels have been dug into the ground from the President of the United States and Pelosi and Schumer. And it really, whoever budgets first,
Well, they change the future.
They change what's going to happen.
Right,
And
they change the future.
and
They change
really,
the outcome of the next election and everything else the American people are looking forward to or not looking forward
and what really, and you know who loses? The federal government, the federal people that aren't getting paid. They're the ones that are actually
Right.
hurting. And they should do some sort of relief. I'm sure it's in the powers to be to do a relief to pay federal employees. I mean, there's got to be a relief there for that. I mean, I don't necessarily think you need Congress to come in and cut somebody a paycheck. Like, that's ridiculous to me.
They announced yesterday, Trump and the senators and the congressmen, they announced yesterday, whenever the shutdown does stop, they will pay in full, meaning back pay, to all the federal workers. So they will get.
Yeah.
I feel for them. I couldn't imagine missing a paycheck today, but they will get paid their full back pay.
Of course.
And get everything back.
Yeah, they'll get paid, but they lose every day because they still got Uncle Sam and the bills and the mortgages.
Let me ask you guys this. I wonder how this works because, unfortunately, Chris and I both receive veterans compensation benefits, right? So how do we get paid and the federal employees don't? What does that fall under? Is that just under the VA? The VA still getting funded, or?
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'd like to. If anybody knows out there, let me know.
70% of the government is still up and running.
Right.
Okay.
So I think the VA falls under that 70%.
Okay. I guess because of healthcare and all that.
Might be.
All right, well, let's jump topics, guys. Let's jump over to sports. Let me get some good news from you, Todd. How many picks are you going for this weekend?
We're doing the divisional round, so we're doing another 4 games.
All right, man. So I'm expecting 4 out of 4 for you, brother. Let's hear what you got.
All right. So let's get going here. We got Colts. We got the Colts at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 5.5. And the Colts are coming in winning, I believe it's 10 out of their 11 last 11 games. So 10 out of 11. They're 10-1 the last 11 games. Andrew Luck is playing out of his mind. Mac is running the ball real well. I love their defense. Kansas City has a history. Now we got Mahomes as a new quarterback. Basically his first year starting. Andy Reid over there, offensive guru. The Chiefs' defense is a little suspect. I think that's what I was hearing. The Chiefs had an unbelievable year, and they can put up a lot of points. The problem is their defense allows a lot of points. So the Rams, some of their, the Seattle game they had. I'm telling you, I like the Colts going in there and having an upset. I think the Colts are going to put up enough points, 27 points, and I think the Colts defense is going to be the deciding factor of the game, if they can hold, the Chiefs to a manageable score. So I like that. That nasty rookie inside linebacker for the Colts is playing out of his mind. So I'm going with the upset here. I'm taking the Colts outright to win 27-24.
Wow, that's a bold prediction on that one, my friend. That is bold. I liked the Colts last week, but don't know. I think I think I'm gonna stay away from this game one way or the other because my mind has been made up of what I want the Super Bowl to look like, and which is the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Okay.
I would love to see. I'd love to see the ever-ending cycle and the narrative about Nick Foles and Carson Wentz and what would happen if Foles gets back to the Super Bowl. He obviously has a big task this weekend, but I would love to see the narrative on how the Eagles would move forward in the future between those two quarterbacks. But I'd also like the Andy Reid story, the fact that he coached the Eagles for so many years and got to the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and they just didn't quite get over that hump. But see him go and go for his first against the Eagles, I think would be a really nice underlying story between the two teams, and see the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. But that basically just kind of gave up kind of how I feel about it. Not to say that I think that the Eagles are.
So you're about to find out if Todd's picks are the same, though. That's the thing.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and not agree or disagree on this Colts and Chiefs game, because I agree with Todd. Andrew Luck's playing out of his mind, and again, I would pick the other way only because my mind really wants to see the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl at this point. But
I'll tell you what, that would be a hell of a storyline.
It would be a great storyline.
That would probably be the best storyline in the Super Bowl in a long time.
Right. I mean, unless you got the Chargers and the Saints, because then you got the Drew Brees, Chargers connection, Phillip Rivers, whatever. But what's that next pick you got going on, Todd?
All right, so let's go to the Dallas Cowboys at the Los Angeles Rams Sunday night. We got the Rams favored by 7. This is an interesting game. The Rams come in the last 3 games not as productive on the offensive side. Goff thrown a couple interceptions, 5 TDs, 5 interceptions down the stretch. They did not have their best player, Todd Gurley, the running back, the last couple games. So I think that has made a difference. But he's back this week and he's healthy. That's going to be a key. On the defense, they got the stud Darnold, the defensive lineman, 20 and a half sacks this year. The guy is just a beast to handle. So I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for the Cowboys' offensive line. The Rams are susceptible to the run. So, Zeke has to have a big game. They have to keep, if they want any chance at all, they have to keep Dak upright. If there's pressure on him, they're sacking him, pressure on him. That's when he tends to turn the ball over. I just think this is, the Cowboys, good story this year. They had a comeback after that 3-5 start, made the playoffs, won last week. I just think the Rams are too tough at home. The Rams are 13-3 for a reason, and they're favored by 7. So I say take the Rams outright, and I think it's going to be 28-20, the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
No, I like that. And then on Sunday we have 2 additional games, right? We have the Chargers game.
Yep, we have the first game, 1 o'clock Sunday, is the Los Angeles Chargers at the New England Patriots. And this is a great matchup, if you're a football fan, because we have the Patriots, right? It's been 17 years. They're on top, 5 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowl appearances. I don't think, I could be wrong, because every time we gap the New England Patriots, they surprise us and, they move on to the next round. I just really like what I saw out of the Chargers defense last week. The one main difference for the New England Patriots is Gronk is not having a year of his normal stats, right? I think he only has 4 touchdowns on the year. His lowest catch totals is his rookie year at 47. I think that's going to be a huge factor, that Gronk is not playing up to his, Pro Bowl caliber. I think, Tom Brady, he's the boy wonder. He's 40-something years old now, 40, 41, going on 41. I just think they're not as strong as they have been during this run they've had. An unbelievable run, 17 years being, at the top, basically. I just like Phillip Rivers, what he did last week. I love the Chargers defense. They can put pressure on. If they can make Brady uncomfortable in the pocket, it could be a long day. I'm going Chargers 24-21. Pats are favored by 4, but I say take the Chargers outright 24-21.
Wow, that's a bold prediction to go against Brady in a one-and-done playoff scenario, brother. I will agree to disagree on that one. I can't count Tom Brady out. I don't like the matchup for the Patriots at all. Again, the Chargers are looking lights out, especially last couple weeks, but pretty much all season long. Until Phillip Rivers does it, though, I said it last week and I was dead wrong, but I'm going to say it again. I don't buy into him just quite yet. I need to see it. Tom Brady does it every single year. Very hard for me to go against Tom Brady. I don't know if they cover that line, but I think until I see it, I don't believe it, and I think the Patriots will move on to fight at least one more week. And again, this is just basically based off the fact that until it's done and it's proven otherwise, I will not count Brady out with a one-and-done playoff scenario.
Another thing that could be a huge factor in this game that could totally wipe out my prediction is the weather.
Right.
Los Angeles Chargers are a warm weather team.
Right.
And they come into New England and it's a very cold day. That could throw them off. So I'm hoping the weather's mild, not too bad. But I would not be surprised if it is cold that the weather is a factor.
I agree.
So let me ask you guys this: who's going to be the most brutal game this weekend? Who's going to be the one that actually puts on the best show?
I think it might be that Colts-Chief game.
Yeah, that's a great matchup, the Colts-Chiefs. I mean, they're all intriguing, but I would say the one with the highest percentage to be a battle, to be a back-and-forth battle, I would say Colts-Chiefs.
Okay.
So now we got this all important around this area anyway. Eagles-Saints games. Eagles are just doing what nobody gave them any chance of doing. They made it to the playoffs when they weren't supposed to make it to the playoffs. They won last week when a lot of us, myself included, thought they were going to get buried by the Bears in Soldier Field. Now they're on the road in New Orleans against Drew Brees and those Madden football-esque type New Orleans Saints. How do you see that one going down, and what's your pick on that one?
Yeah, so, great job. I just got to say, great job for the Eagles with that win in Chicago. Just where they were with like 3 weeks left in the season. Went to LA and won. Came home, beat Houston, and then pretty much wrapped it up a playoff spot by taking care of the Redskins. No one thought a month ago that the Eagles were going to be anywhere near the playoffs. So they've done a great job to get to where they are. The Saints, they're riding in as the number 1 seed. That dome, scares a lot of people. I know that the Saints beat them by 41 points a month or so ago, month and a half ago, like 48 to 7. I don't think anything like that's going to happen. I do think the Eagles are playing well. They're going to come in, put a great fight in there. To me, I just think right now the favorites to win it all is New Orleans. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think the Saints are going to be very tough on that, that fast track in the dome. Those fans are freaking crazy there. It's going to be loud. They are favored by 8. I do think the Eagles keep it close up until, late in the game. And I'm going to go Saints 35-21. Like I said, I think the Eagles put up a hell of a fight. They've had a hell of a comeback this last month. But my gut tells me, when I look at it, I think the Saints are the overall favorites to win the Super Bowl. And I think they're just going to be very, very difficult to beat in that dome, in that fast track. They have those 2 running backs, and they have some key wide receivers. The defensive line plays well. I'm going to take the points, take the Saints. I'm predicting 35-21.
Yeah, I unfortunately, NFL knowledge of mine, which is probably very limited, but I
can make you feel better about that.
Well, I appreciate that. It made me feel warm and fuzzy inside at this point. my track history, and I got a couple buddies that may or may not be listening to this or will be listening to this or whatever. They know my track record with the Eagles, and betting the Eagles hard cash never historically goes right for me. As I bet the hot Eagles team, they shit the bed, and if I bet against a cold as ice Eagles team and I go against them, they come out and win.
Yeah?
I never
That's
can.
your historic betting history?
Yeah, I lose
How
every
long
time.
did it take you to figure that out?
Well, last week really put it back in perspective to me, because there is no shot in hell they beat the Bears at Soldier Field, in Soldier Field with
That was a
Khalil
fluke.
Mack, and they win. Yeah, it was a fluke. It was a dink doink, right? But they won. I mean, that bottom line is they won, and they're in it to win it now.
right.
And quite frankly, if they go in here and they beat the Saints, whether it's another dink doink or they knock Drew Brees on his ass or whatever it takes, I think I would not be shocked if Foles doesn't get it done again. And again, it goes back to what my Super Bowl, what my ideal Super Bowl this year would be the Philadelphia Eagles and the Saints. So I can see the Saints wiping the floor with them, but then again, I cannot and will not count the Eagles out to go ahead and win this game, just based off of what they've been doing.
Because they've surprised you in the past.
Well, that's why I hate them. No, to be honest with you, that's why I hate them, because I can't get it right with the Eagles. As I think I got something going, I can't get it right with them. So for that purpose, I hate them. No, I do. I hate them.
Yeah.
No.
Tell you what, though, what happened a couple, like a month or so ago, whenever it was, when the Cowboys beat the Saints in Dallas, they kind of gave the secret, the recipe on how to beat the Saints. What you have to do with your front four, with your defensive linemen, your front four, you have to constantly put pressure on Breeze with the front four. Not getting pressure with blitzes, but just the front four, constantly getting pressure on them, constantly making them uncomfortable. Then you have a shot. If the
Right.
Eagles can do that, and they got some studs up front, Cox, Bennett, Long, if they can do that, they got a shot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. And we're going to recap your picks on Monday. Obviously, as usual, Todd, we definitely appreciate you coming on. I don't know if
Sir.
you hear all this stuff here, but we're remote right now in Studio J, and we're all set up. We look like surveillance. I'm just waiting for the police or the federales or somebody to come knock on the door and say, "What the hell are you guys doing?" Because
Right.
we got all the equipment in here. We're broadcasting live from right here on Route 1 out in
Right in the center of the road.
right in the center of the road, smack dead in the center of the road. You hear all the traffic. No, because we keep it raw. You know what I mean, Todd? That's what we do on Head to Head Podcast. We keep this
Gotta
shit
keep it
raw.
Keep it real.
Yeah, but I'm surprised somebody ain't knocked on the door. I'm surprised somebody don't think we're undercover or
Would
something.
you knock on, or would you just keep your head down?
No, I keep it
Because,
moving,
what-
brother, because
well,
I got.
Let's just call it like it is, brother. Half the people right now are probably committing insurance fraud. You know what I mean?
And with that, brother, I'm out.
All right.
All right, Todd.
Guys,
Hey,
appreciate
see you,
it.
Scout.
Hey, brother, we appreciate it, brother. We will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, brother.
God bless the men and women of the United States military and our veterans. I'll talk to you guys Monday.
All right,
See you,
brother.
sir.
So, of course, that was Todd. We appreciate him coming on, as usual, giving us some nice analytics and some picks and hopefully keeping everybody engaged with that. But, again, just a somber reminder.
Hopefully you'll do okay this weekend, brother.
Well, I think he'll be fine.
You know what? I'm gonna do okay because my one big cheat meal for the week
Yeah.
is gonna be my 50 wings.
All right.
I'm
When
gonna
you
do
do
it.
that, Saturday, Sunday, or tonight?
Well, if I order them tonight, I'll have them all weekend.
That's well played by you.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a cheat meal. It's a cheat meals, plural. Yeah, plural.
yeah.
Because if you're going to eat it all in one shot, then I say
Well-
a cheat meal. But you're actually cheating a cheat meal.
Brother.
That's actually...
well, because
I don't know whether to
because
say
here's
that's
the
a
deal.
real scumbag move or
It is.
that's fucking
It is because
brilliant.
How many times have you ever?
It might be brilliant.
How many times have you ever gotten yelled at by the missus for not eating the leftovers and they go in the waste?
No, I'm a fat pig.
So
I eat it all.
So for me,
I do.
the leftovers is leftovers.
All right.
So I'll do it tonight. I'll order the wings, or I'll get chicken and waffles, which sounds delicious.
Actually, I want to go home right now and make waffles. I do. I told you that this morning. Anyway, it ain't nothing new. But with that, folks, we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to let you guys get back to more important things in real life and
Yeah, we
doing your
appreciate
thing.
it.
But we definitely appreciate our listeners around the world. Obviously, here stateside, look us up, www.headtohead headtoheadpodcast.com. Our YouTube channel's up. We have a few more weeks before we're going to go live, so you can see our ugly mugs. Look for us on Instagram. I think we have a Facebook page somewhere out there, maybe activated, deactivated. Hell, I don't know. I think we have a Twitter
Well, it
page.
surprises us every day, so that's a huge aspect of it.
I want to give a shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. These whatever.
Now you're thinking of Wahlburgers and Mark Zuckerberg put together.
Yeah, why don't we give a shout out to both of them?
Yeah.
Because I like Mark Wahlberg.
Well, he opened.
No, I do.
He opened that restaurant called Wahlburgers.
Yeah, there was something in the news about
He said,
something
"Let
that
me
was not.
embrace my last name." Now, if I embraced my last name, I'd just be selling peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You probably make a killing.
I'd probably make it right here on the street corner.
No, it'd be a killing. Because I'd buy it. No, I would.
Well, no, because there'd be none left. Because I'd have ate them all. Because I had a glass of milk and I had my peanut butter and
We
jelly
need a
sandwiches.
gallon of milk.
I had a gallon of milk, correct.
Gallon of milk,
Whole
yeah.
milk, by the way.
There's other milk out there?
Well, you see, I don't like liars, and 2% milk is a liar because it's not milk. It's really water.
Oh, that's a real thing?
People drink it. I don't know why. Maybe they need to hydrate, and they like.
They got skinny milk out there
it's-
too, don't it? It's called skinny milk. It's
I
the
can't-
blue one, right?
There can't be something.
What's it called? Skinny milk?
There cannot be something called skin.
No, there's whole milk. Then there's 1%. Then there's 2% milk,
There's-
and then there's that skinny milk.
There's whole milk,
Yep.
not whole milk,
Right.
almond milk, silk milk, chocolate milk, vanilla milk. It goes all the way around. Bro.
No, but there's one that it's whole milk, 2% milk, and then there's skinny milk.
Well, there's also slim milk. Skim. You're thinking of skim milk.
No, that's water in a milk carton.
I don't know. It's just.
What a waste.
It's actually
America.
food coloring.
America.
Listen, you're telling me, man. Anyway, we get back on this track of milk and peanut butter. And
Yeah,
food.
now
I think we should grab lunch here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna grab some lunch. But anyway,
Reach
it
out
is-
to us, folks.
Yeah, enjoy, be safe, enjoy the games. If you're on our borders and you're protecting us, I commend you for that job. God bless you. To all our law enforcement that's out there right now, listen, be safe, be vigilant, and take care of yourself and your brothers and sisters out there, because apparently there are people out there that don't give a shit about you. And here at Head to Head, we want to, again, very, very serious on this note here, and we'll end it. We appreciate what you guys are doing. That's all our men and women serving overseas, our country, our borders, and in our cities and suburbs and countries, our counties. I said countries, but counties all over our country. Be safe, be vigilant, and take care of yourselves. Hit us up, www.headtoheadpodcast.com. Find us on our YouTube. You can reach out to me directly on our LinkedIn page. And we'll talk to you soon.
God bless.
Take care.